Okay, these are your numbers, your real estate numbers here in Central Florida that come out in February that cover till the end of January. So last month we looked at the end of the year. Now we're going to look at how the year is starting out. And spoiler alert, it started out slow. Hey everyone, this is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker. And let's see how 2025 is starting out as far as the real estate market, mortgage market, and how it's likely to end up by the end of the year. So let's start with inventory, because to me, this is kind of the linchpin or the magic number of the market. So goes inventory and rates, so goes the market. So right now we have 11,697 homes on the market. This time, last January 2024, 8,217. So we have a 42.4% increase in inventory. That's definitely meaningful. And even from last month, we're up 16.4%. Look, a couple other numbers here. Median price been on a tear. Did come down a little bit in January. We'll talk about that, but it is an increase of minus 1.3%. Days on market, 74 from, we were 68 last month, 74 this month. And months of supply. So this is a big one to look at because we are at 7.73. Just in December, we were 4.67. That's a 65% increase. Again, we're going to look if that's a meaningful increase. Obviously, 65% is a big jump, but why that might be. And then last couple little things here that I like to look at is distressed home sales. Distressed home sales accounted for 1.2% of all home sales in January. This is a 5.9% increase, but we still only have 18 distressed home sales here in Central Florida, which means that so many people have really low rates, tons of equity, that regardless of what rates does, regardless of what the economy does, there really just isn't a lot of people that are going to get in financial trouble, because if they needed to sell, even at a discount, they have a tremendous amount of equity, and right now, most people don't have adjustable rates, so they actually have really low payments that go along with that. Now, as far as the actual numbers and how they break down, so right now, rates are down a little bit from where they were at. We actually got over 8% if you look like a year and a half ago. But in general, we've been staying right around this 6.5 to, we were up over 7.25, and this is down to about 6.85%. Remember, everyone's rate is going to be different. Right now, we have 11,697 homes on the market. That breaks down to 8,014 single-family homes. Of that, 11,697, 2,348 are condos, 1,335 are townhomes and villas. You can see right here, new contracts shot up, which bodes well maybe for February and March. We shall see. Transactions fell. So in December, we did 2,154 transactions. January, we did 1,514. So even though inventory increased, the biggest reason that months of inventory shot up is the sales closed really went down, which actually is normal. In January and February, seasonally adjusted, even typically across the US, those are slower times of the year. As you get March, April, May, and June, that's going to dictate really what you're going to see is our sales going to come back meaningfully. Last year, I think we ended up right around 4.1. Prediction is to go up a little bit this year, which means that we're probably going to look very similar as far as a real estate market as a whole nationally, like it did last year. Now, Florida does have some areas like Cape Coral and areas where the hurricane came in where we are seeing some depreciation, but at the same time, I'll link to a video that I did that showed tons of people are still moving into Cape Coral. So you would think that would probably not happen, or that would not stay down for very long. And a lot of investors tend to buy up as there's deals. So we shall see. We're going to track all those numbers between now and the end of the year. Now, what's likely to happen? That's the more interesting question, especially this time of the year, is trying to make predictions. Is, are we going to have inventory? Because right now we're at almost 8 months. That is definitely considered a buyer's market. But here in Oviedo, average days on market are like less than 45 or 50 days last time I looked. So it's still a lot more competitive here, and the median price is higher in Oviedo, so every market is hyper local. Now, when we look at what's likely to happen, let's look at the forecast for rates. So right now, you take Redfin showing 6.8 and National Association of Realtors saying 5.8. You knock both those out, right? That's pretty optimistic. And pretty much the consensus is for rates to be right around 6.33%. And then when we look at U.S. home prices forecast by really every big entity out there, from Morgan Stanley to Apollo Global Management, who I've never heard of, predicting a 10.8% increase in prices. But when you look at kind of the median, again, the market is predicting a 2.7% increase in prices in 2025, which is going to be what I've said really for the last few months. Is we're going to have a really flat market. The Fed is maybe going to do 2 or 3 cuts this year. Rates are going to come down a little bit. Transactions are going to go up a little bit, and houses are going to appreciate just a little bit. And I don't think we see any major depreciation. I always get a lot of hate when I say this comment, when I say this statement in the comments, because it's just the inventory. Now, would I retract that? Or if the inventory gets 10, 11, 12 months, remember in 2007, we had 25, 30 months of inventory. So yeah, 100% if we got that kind of inventory. But how did we get that kind of inventory? Everybody had adjustable rates. Everybody had no equity, and everybody was doing short sales, and those things have not played out. So if you were a home buyer, the good news is I think right now is still a good market in the sense that, yes, rates are higher, so you do have to qualify, but we are getting sellers doing all kinds of concessions, buying rates down, stuff that you will not see as the market changes. And if you look forward to 2026, we're predicting a lot more transactions in 2026. But again, we will see. And if you're a seller, there's no reason to wait. But there's also no reason to sell now. It's really up to you, right? We're not going to see, in my opinion, this massive depreciation. So I've seen a lot of people sell thinking they were getting in front of some big price correction last year. And boy, was that a mistake, because we still had a little bit of appreciation. So I think it's going to be a kind of a flat market, kind of unexciting, a little dip in rates, a little bump in transactions. But we'll look at that. We're going to track the data. So how would I say this year started out? Is kind of like I expected, though I will say the transactions fell more than what I thought they would from December to January. But when you look at pending contracts shooting up, it's going to be more interesting to look at February, March, and April and see what happens. And of course, look at the Fed meetings. Right now, I think the Fed may do their first cut this summer. If the market starts pricing that in, we could maybe get a little more of a tailwind on rates, and of course that would help the real estate market. Now, if you have any questions on programs, is it a good time to buy or sell? Or what are the factors you want to be looking at so that you're ready to buy a house this year or next? Reach out to me. I'd love to help. We'll keep tracking the numbers. As more information becomes available that moves the market, as always, I'm going to cover it right here. Have a great day, great week, great month, and I'll talk to you soon.